Hey, it's Brendon Payne with Century 21, and I wanted to touch base with you today and go through a couple of things. If I were selling a property now and I was not already an agent, a couple of the reasons why I would actually probably consider selling on my own. Now, a lot of times when you're talking to agents, they're going to tell you that you can't get it sold on your own, you don't have any shot at it. Listen, it's a great market right now, and the reality is, if you hit the parameters that it takes to get the right exposure, you price the home correctly, and you get it in front of the right group of buyers, then there's a good chance that you may sell it on your own. So let me give you a couple insights into kind of why, if I was in the market and I wasn't already an agent, or even if someone came to me and somebody that I cared about and they were willing to put in some time, invest some time in the marketing of their property, why it might not be a bad idea to try it for 27 days, and I'll explain the significance of that, to try it on their own for about 27 days, and if they got it sold, great, move on, and if they didn't, then at that point reach out and try to find some help, somebody that can actually get the right combination of things there. So let's step into the three things that are going to cause a property to sell. One, you've got to have a saleable property, meaning you can't have it fallen down. It's got to be in good condition, it's got to show well, and it's got to be accessible. Number two, you've got to get the right amount of exposure for the property to the right types of buyers. Just the shotgun approach of putting it on the MLS, we know that doesn't work. Properties come off the market every day that fail to sell, and they're all on the MLS. So just putting it out there with a general approach typically doesn't work. You've got to find the right type of buyer for the property and then market it aggressively to that group. Then the third factor is it has to be priced correctly. Now, priced correctly doesn't mean that it has to be the lowest price in the neighborhood. It means it has to be priced correctly based on what that home offers compared to the other ones that buyers are looking at now, and priced correctly compared to the other ones that they have available to make offers on. So if you are selling right now and you're considering selling on your own, or you're already trying it on your own, then if you can invest some time and gather the right type of buyer for it, you've got a database of people that you can put it in front of, it's priced correctly, you've done your research on the neighborhood and you understand the time on market and how many reductions the other properties did, and you've got a fairly saleable property, I mean it's in good condition, it's accessible, people can show it, then you should have the beginning of a good formula. Now, here's the important part in terms of the time frame. At any given time, I typically will have between 15 and maybe 22 or 23 properties that I have listed under contract, meaning in some stage of the closing process. They already have a contract that's been worked out on them. And on average, my properties are selling, meaning they're getting contracts within 27 days of the last price that was presented to the market. Let me explain what that means. Some properties go on the market and they sell within 27 days of when they hit the market. That was the first price that was presented to the general buying public. Some properties are on the market for a period of time, and if we're not getting offers or we're not getting the activity we need, sometimes there's a price improvement that the seller wants to make it more appealing, and then we're getting offers. The gap between when it's presented to the buying market and when it gets a contract on it for the ones that are selling is averaging 27 days. What does that tell us? It tells us that when you have a good property that's marketed aggressively and to the right group of buyers, and it's priced correctly, not just priced low, priced correctly, the market reacts very quickly. So if you got some time to invest on your own, get the system set up to where you can get the right exposure, price it correctly, you've got a good saleable property, you should know within that 3 to 4 week period whether or not you're going to be able to get some help and get a buyer that comes in there. If you don't get it sold in that period of time, that might be the time to start looking and saying, all right, what other options do I have? Because you may be missing one of those factors. Talk to you soon, and again, I appreciate your time and hope this helps.